Hey there, everybody. My name is Ian. This is Cameron, and that's Angus over there, way in the background.
So,
And we are the Not Moo Podcast. This is episode 8. And this week we have, again, special guest Angus Garland, and we'll be reviewing later on in the episode Chris Finn's The Poncho People. So, if we want to kick off this thing, Cameron, would you like to start off by talking about something you've been listening to this past week?
Frank Zappa.
Ooh, Zappa. All right. Let's hear a little bit about him.
He has probably the best mustache in all of music.
I feel like there's many people who would agree with that.
Yeah. And he's also incredibly skilled with guitar, and he's funny.
Yeah,
That's essentially, it's just like really sick guitar solos and humor.
yeah. I mean, what albums did you listen to by Zappa?
Apostrophe.
Just Apostrophe?
I was getting into Overnight Sensation, and there's some songs that I know off of Shake Your Booty and all that. There's other things. Like I learned the chords and like the lyrics to Bobby Brown, so I can just play that and sing that.
That's pretty neat. So, I'm a little bit foreign to Zappa. I got the suggestion of Overnight Sensation and Apostrophe sometime last week for like stuff to listen to, but I never really got around to it. Do you know if there is like... Can you give me a rundown of what I'm expecting when I go into there?
just because he just played some of it for me today, and it was a real treat.
Well, yeah, that was Bobby Brown. That wasn't on Apostrophe. That was a different album. But on Apostrophe, the interesting thing is Apostrophe is like this very closely strung together concept album. So like each song goes directly into the next one, and well, I don't really want to tell you about the jokes on the album because I won't like. You're gonna want to listen to the album and experience the jokes for yourself and laugh.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. But like, as far as like, if you could liken it to another artist that you know of, can you at least?
It's difficult to really categorize Zappa. That's one of the standout traits of Zappa. The fact that he's like difficult to categorize with another artist.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Angus, do you want to talk about something you've been listening to today? Oh, this week?
Well, I've been listening to a lot of things, but I guess I should probably like at least touch on something very like relevant, maybe like the new like Anthrax album that came out, because I just got it like I think a week ago or two actually. It was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I believe so. No, it was like last Saturday, so
Oh, yeah.
a week
What was
ago.
last Saturday? I forget what day like things happen anymore. But yeah, I listened to it and I don't know. It's really good for an Anthrax album. It you can kind of hear they're getting a bit old and things are kind of slowing down, getting a lot more simpler. But it's I think it is still like worth buying and giving it a good listen. Just hearing how like the one real like popular thrash metal band that actually has clean vocal singing and still actually got a lot heavier in that album too. So it's a great album.
That's awesome. Yeah, so, shoot. Give me 1 second. Could any of you guys just don't look at the episode and give it a quick sound check, actually? Because I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know if, like, audio's not coming through right properly or something like that.
He's on the case.
On my way.
Oh, if, like, audio's not coming through right properly. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, so we're... Can you hear the music in the background?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, then that's all good. Alright, so... Alright, so... Sorry to get off on that tangent. So... Art of you, talk about something a little bit more, I guess?
I could talk about any more albums I listened to, but none of you actually heard them. It's just a lot of strange things. Especially like Amir's new album that I heard, which
Hmm.
Well, I mean, it was good for Muir. I still don't like their trend that they're becoming a new metal band every album release. It's not good for them. Just I don't know, like especially because it made a lot of like they were kind of breakdown kind of heavy band, which is they can pull it off. Some bands it just gets boring, but theirs kind of I like it. But except for that album where a lot of the breakdowns actually became very weak, and the rappy parts I couldn't take seriously. It wasn't, but it was still a good album. And the only other one last complaint was that the guitar had a weird effect on it, so I couldn't really enjoy the guitar like previous albums like Felony and stuff before that. But I don't know. It's like iffy if you want to pay for it. So.
All right. So, guess give us a bit of a rundown if we're like extremely foreign to a Muir. I guess if there are people out there that are.
A Muir is basically a I don't know. I guess they're kind of technically metalcore. I don't really know. It's hard to tell. I guess now they're more of a new metal kind of band nowadays. But it's your standard kind of like metal band out there where it's just like heavy drop. I think if they use 7-string guitars, maybe drop A. I don't know. It's kind of I can play a lot of the songs on my bass. So yeah, very low band, a lot of guitar lead work. I think 2 guitarists, I'm not sure, and a lot of scream vocals. The vocalist is known for destroying his voice for doing very harmful screams and stuff like that. It's a good band for people who like heavier music and can enjoy breakdowns, even if it's in stuff like that. And even if they're not really too into it, it's a good band, especially for their album Felony and a lot of before that.
All right. Neat. So, sorry to I ended up rushing you a little bit through Zappa. Cam, is there any more you want to talk about him a little bit?
Not in particular. Like, there's only so much that I can say that isn't like go experience it for yourself.
I think you could like at least describe about like especially it's a lot of some of it can be a lot of very kind of humorous and a little bit like kind of like it has a little like pushing thing like getting to that line of becoming slightly vulgar but still appropriate at the same time.
I guess.
Yeah, for some that I listened to. I didn't listen to that album, but I'm just like giving you a thing of just like kind of it's very odd.
He sometimes does have a very vulgar sense of humor.
I didn't really know. I'd actually not really listened to Frank Zappa.
Hey, Angus, could you speak up a bit?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
The mic's over by him, so I'm just like projecting my voice.
Project powerfully and graciously.
I can only get this is about as close to you that I can get the mic to be.
Clipping the audio.
We'll have to get a studio space at some point for this, but until then, we'll work something out.
Yeah.
What's up?
I just like since he was mentioning clipping, I just thought, hey, that's a group. It's a pretty good group.
All right, yeah. Anything else you guys have listened to that was really interesting in this last week?
Well, I think I've talked enough about Mr. Bungle, but I finally finished their discography. Now I have all 3 albums under my belt.
All right. So, tell me about the final journey on the Mr. Bungle train.
Well, the whole idea is that with the self-titled, they were taking the weird polka and ska stuff, and then applying the bungle to it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the last album, they're doing essentially the same thing, but instead of the ska and polka and the weird genres they were using there, they're using surf rock.
All right, surf rock. So they're going full Beach Boys with the bungle attitude.
They're also there's one song that's like almost entirely acoustic. like California is the first album where you hear Mr. Bungle use an acoustic guitar.
And okay, yeah, but a fully acoustic guitar from Mr. Bungle?
Yeah.
Huh.
Retro Vertigo.
No instrument is safe from one.
I mean,
It's not even like a weird song. It just like it kind of has like a ballad tone to it. It's like for a Mr. Bungle song, it almost seems too normal.
What if that's the point, was to be weird by making one normal song and not having anything about it? It's like a big lip alligator moment.
But it's just weird because like Mike Patton has like 5 different other projects. Like all right, so there's Mr. Bungle, Faith No More, Phantomas, Tomahawk, and Peeping Tom, as well as his solo work. Speaking of which, there's an album that Mike Patton made. It's a solo album by Mike Patton, called Adult Themes for Voice.
all right.
And there's one song in particular on this album that I've been listening to. That it's kind of, the song is pretty similar to what the rest of the album sounds like, but this one I found especially special.
Mm-hmm.
The song is called Red Mouth Black Orgasm. I showed this to Angus already.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's only like 28 seconds long, and there aren't even any instruments in it.
Is it just screaming? I apologize for listening audio. I hope that the audio monitoring
44 minutes of that.
44 minutes of that.
That's the album.
Really?
Well, not all of them have him screaming fuck, but like all of the songs have like clips of audio like that.
That is awesome.
And him like doing weird noises, screaming, singing.
That song it made falling deeper into like something like schizophrenia into music. Just, like, that is a feeling of just taking a whole like 10 years of someone slowly losing all of their sanity and put into 40 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I was close though. I actually didn't know the time at all.
True.
Oh, that's probably gonna sound so bad on like everyone else's end, but I just hope like all the peaking was taken care of by the audio monitoring.
It sounded weird.
Like, I don't think there's a more proper way to listen to that song.
Heavily clipped audio.
Yeah, like it has to be distorted or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, all right, fair enough. Yeah, it's extremely rough and painful sounding, just like my soul. Like, ha, ha, ha.
Like this guitar that Cam just pulled up. This tiny little piece of guitar with all the strings. And it's out of tune. Slightly, but enough that it can be played. C minor. Thank you for the C minor. Hey, can you add the G yet?
Hey, Angus, project more.
Oh, sorry. He's playing a C minor chord again because I told him to play C minor, but he's not adding a G in the bass as a bass note, which he needs to learn how to do that. Because it's like making an E minor with your third finger and your pinky, and then just having that extra note for the C, and then you got it. Well, you got the fifth for the other G, the fifth for the C. I think it's the fifth for that. No, wait, no, that's the octave C. I'm sorry. It's guitar speak, whatever. I'm a loser who plays guitar, that's why I'm here right now, I guess.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because nobody knows who I am. I'm just... we just ignore the fact that I'm just some guy who just showed up.
I mean, you kind of are known. You're our crendor for... If we were to compare this podcast to the Not Moo podcast, you're just like the friend of the podcast that's not as well known as any of us. Oh, actually, no, you're more well known than I am. everyone in the town thinks I'm you or something like that, or they just think I'm some sort of no-name person most of the time.
Oh yeah, I've just been to a lot of shows there, but
Yeah.
so, I don't leave everyone alone. But somehow yet they forget that who I am on my Facebook profile.
I know, Angus. Like everyone doesn't see every post.
I've said who I am. It's all,
Yeah.
There's still pictures of me on my profile.
Yeah, so something interesting that I ended up listening to, it was suggested to me by Jake Kearney a little while ago, was the thrash metal band Lich King. Have any of you heard of them?
I'm not.
Well, I guess I have because I was there with you.
Yeah. Well, I listened to it before it, but I ended up listening to Born of the Bomb, which is the Jake recommended as like their best record and probably one of his favorite records. And honestly, it sounded really interesting. Like I'll be honest, like I'm not a super big fan of thrash metal because I mean, there's not a lot that's different between artists aside from like the technical skill and the different guitar noodling that goes on, in my opinion. And this kind of added an interesting flavor to it, honestly. Plus, the name Lich King just really helps because I'm a big frigging nerd who loves D&D, and liches, well, taken from D&D lore and whatnot, it's kind of cool to kind of have that little crossover there with my interests.
Also, the Lich King is a prominent character in World of Warcraft.
Well, yeah, like the Lich King is based off of the Lich from like ancient folklore, which is also drawn from like and that folklore is drawn from in like the D&D games and whatnot, because there is an enemy, the Lich, usually like an epic level boss that people have to fight against and whatnot. The Lich King is heavily inspired by that, along with a lot of other elements of Warcraft. But yeah, so there's that relation too. I'd say like Born of the Bomb added a lot of interesting technicality, a lot of interesting flavor to it that made it. It's probably like a nice album for anyone who doesn't really listen to thrash metal much to jump into. I can say the same too about say Conformicide, a Havoc's record from earlier this year, which kind of also did the same with adding an interesting flavor to what would be a genre dominated by technical skill. I will say that Conformicide is very, very political, which, you know, kind of does leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I guess it's kind of somewhere in the center, a little bit right of center, so I can relate to it, so it kind of earns a little bit of points for kind of referencing some political beliefs I share, so, but I'll say, like, its use of, like, vocal samples and audio samples and just little skits thrown in there at the very start of songs, it kind of gives the album a nice fresh flavor that otherwise would have just been lost on me with like some other thrash records. And I'd say if you haven't checked out Conformicide yet, definitely check it out, because you shouldn't be sleeping on this one. This is a good one of the 2017 so far.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what album I actually want to get into that I haven't listened to yet, but I want to now, is an album called Yod.
Yot?
Y-O-D-H by
Why-
Mismal.
Yod. Y-O-D-T?
Y-O-D-H.
My bad. Alright. Yod. Let's see. Mismore?
Yes.
Let me look at it real quick. It's on their Bandcamp. Let's see. Alright. That's just a one-song album. ALN, metal, black metal, doom metal, drone. Interesting. Where'd you discover this?
It's been on some people's charts, and I saw the cover, and it looked interesting.
Yeah, it's You're gonna be in for.
And then I started realizing that, like, I started kind of understanding how black metal tends to sound.
Have you listened to? Oh, sorry. Have you listened to Burzum by any chance?
I listened to a little bit of Burzum.
What'd you listen to from them?
It was like a bit of a song off of Philosophem.
Philosophem? Alright. I want to give you a little bit of guide to what you should be listening to on Burzum. Just a real quick thing, because I just pull up their discography real quick, so I have some.
Is Philosophem a too mainstream Burzum album?
Oh, Philosophem's a great spot to get into, but you should also listen to Hivis Lisset Tar Os. It is their 1994 album. It's another good album to get the great taste of Burzum and his metal sound. And so yeah, Philosophem and Hivis are great albums. Hivis's final song, Tomet, is a great instrumental piece of just that gives you a preview of like what he wants to do with his music and what he does with during his time in jail and after jail with his ambient albums. Like a lot of his interesting works, I would say, kind of hit that sort of meeting point between black metal and ambient music, where he kind of creates an extremely eerie atmosphere that one can get lost in, scared in, or almost mesmerized by. A friend of mine ended up falling asleep to the 1994 album one time, and he ended up waking up from a nap in the middle of the ambient song, and he was just all like, whoa, is this real life? What is going on here? Like, he had this whole feeling of, am I real? What is going on here? I'd say also, actually, this one, I haven't seen this one around at all. Oh, this is a full ambient album from 99 while he was in jail, probably. Or maybe it was still metal. But anywho, Hilidskjalf. I don't know exactly how this is pronounced, but it says 99 record from 99. And I don't know how I missed this one, but I'll have to definitely check it out. Seems like it's maybe right on that border of like where he was trying to go with ambient music, maybe? Oh. But anywho, Burzum's got an interesting like track record in music, and I guess if you like that, also you might album I found in the earlier this year, Downfall of Gaia. It sounds very similar to like the Philosophem and Hives, but it's also a little bit higher in quality. It's got a little bit more of the modern black gaze sound to it, but it still retains like the black metal spirit, and it's a very solid sound. It's a little bit more, I'd say a little bit more concise and not absolutely chaotic and nuts like other records have been in the past. Yeah. And if you're looking to hear some really experimental weird shit, a friend of mine a little while ago suggested Jute Geit. They only have, I think their stuff's only on Bandcamp, but they're an atonal black metal band. Basically, the point of their music is to make it something that sounds really uncomfortable and like unnerving, and it's not really. Yeah, like Jute Geit is, and they're just freaking weird, and they have these names that remind me a lot of the symphonic black metal band Bal Sagoth, if they were like a lot more vulgar, whatnot. Like Jute Geit. Let me see their work here.
I love doing that kind of stuff. I've done that like before with like stupid like music programs, just making music that just sounds as bad as you can make it, and completely like out of any like 7 different scales going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's
such fun music. Yeah,
gross.
you've heard the music I've made like that with that one band.
Yes, it was. But so the album of Jute Guy that my friend showed me actually was Vast Chains, and they have songs on it like Semen Dried into the silence of rock and mineral, endless moths swarming, the inexpressible loneliness of thinking, flux and permanence, refusing a heavenly mansion, and the fire of this. Doesn't seem that vulgar, but I mean, like, they get pretty vulgar throughout their discography with song titles.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That first track sounds familiar. I might have actually heard that.
I played one for you at one point. I think I played Semen Dried into the silence of rock and mineral.
No, I'm thinking of another song that does have referred to bodily fluid as it refers to semen, but in a different song.
Huh.
But it was.
What song were you thinking of?
I think it was a grindcore band. I don't know. I was just hearing something about semen and stuff. I'm like, what? But it's actually no. It's by a random band I was listening to, just trying to find new music, and I actually didn't really like it. There's some grindcores that get me.
But so yeah, like those are three good directions: Downfall of Gaia, Jute Guy, Hivis, and Hilde Clyde Scott. I can't even pronounce this. I am not from that country at all.
Right.
But yeah, so check out those black metal albums. And black metal artists. They're very good in what they do. They're just extremely solid artists. I enjoyed a lot of them. Specifically, the most recent Downfall of Gaia album. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it had the song Atrophy that I discovered back in January. And it was just all around cool sounding, just very eerie and whatnot. Yeah. So, and anything else you guys have listened to by any chance? Something you want to talk about?
I remembered. I actually listened to a. This is not like recently. This was like probably a month ago or so. I was just kind of finding new bands on Apple Music and ended up finding a band called Wage War. I don't know how known they are, if they have like a big following, but they're at least on Apple Music, so they got something going on. So it's they only have I think I could only find one album. I don't think I found anything else, but they also have another album that's actually coming out soon. It's on pre-release right now. I think it's coming out by the end of this year, by fall or something. It's basically, I guess, like one of those kind of like Hatebreed kind of hardcore bands, but like a little more metal on the metalcore side of things. So there's a lot of there are some like uses of like just regular chords and breakdowns, but then there's also some lead parts and a lot of screaming, and weirdly there's this very like high in the fourth octave kind of singing like at some of the choruses, which is weird. Like they shift between a hardcore band and metalcore band a little bit, but yeah, they have 2 tracks on a pre-release. It was originally just a single, just for a song called Stitch. Really good song, I love it. And I heard the other song that came out, which is also pretty nice. And it's only 2 tracks in pre-release now, and the one problem I do have with it so far is the placement with that song Stitch, because it is a very quiet they're whispering something into the mic as the opening kind of can't really think of the song that it compared to, but you've heard it, so you know what I'm talking about, right? And yeah, so basically just kind of the song before it doesn't really lead up into that, but I think that I'll expect the album to kind of be good like the first one.
And if someone were to jump into that other record by them, the one that's fully released, what would you kind of give as your little synopsis of it for people who aren't familiar with Wage War?
I'd say it's like it's kind of a pretty decent. It does have that very like metalcore sound. It really expresses the sound of them I was talking about, and especially like you kind of get caught by surprise with how like clean some of the vocals are and how high some of the notes are. So it's a good a good taste of like kind of the whole metalcore hardcore stuff, but a little bit different, and it's not as high quality as some of their newer stuff, but it's like you can expect something kind of something decent, something actually kind of worth money, especially just exploring and seeing the potential of a new band like that. if they are new, I don't really know much about them yet.
Let's pull up the Wage War website page or whatever they got. See if there's any history to them. They've been active since 2010, but Blueprints was their debut album, it seems, and Deadweight is the upcoming record.
Yep.
So yeah, that's neat. I guess they have some association with A Day to Remember, so I just kind of ruined your day by that, didn't I?
No, I don't mind A Day to Remember that much. It's not a band I love and I pay to see, but like I actually listened to it. There was a song by them. It's like A Plot to Bomb the Panhandle or something, which I kind of actually it grew on me a bit.
Huh.
They're actually A Day to Remember is kind of like listenable, and it's not like my favorite band. Like there are other kind of metalcore bands that I can listen to, but that I actually love. But A Day to Remember is just it's still good.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. So, Cam, anything else you've listened to and that you can?
What's something you've listened to?
Oh yeah, you should get something, Mister. What have you listened to, man?
All right, sorry. So like this last week has been a little bit busy, like, but I can kind of pull off of I've just been listening to like a lot of relaxing stuff to try and get like my head back into the right place. A lot of like the Low Roar album, a lot of their debut, a lot of Savlaki. I've also listened to Spidera's 2 demo tracks off of their SoundCloud, and it shows a lot of promise. I will give it that. Like, they are finally pulling stuff together after their years of just kind of jamming together and trying to put stuff together.
Just always doing like that same Rahoon Bells Hills cover every show because they don't have many songs written.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see if they're actually going to put any vocals into their tracks, because I think like the only one of the 2 has vocals, and it's very minor vocals as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard them live many times. I haven't really heard these songs yet, but I remember they didn't really have like a real vocal situation going on. It was just one of the guitarists kind of like yelling things, and I felt like they should actually have more of a vocalist going on. It's not. There's not enough of just actual like dedicated vocalists to thrash metal.
I honestly would sub in if they would want me to. I mean, I would love to, even if they don't. I'd love to just jump in because, hey, I kind of do death metal vocals. I could kind of maybe help them along.
I was thinking a lot like clean vocals, like an Anthrax thing going on. They kind of need someone who can kind of do that crazy, do that good kind of stuff where it's like it kind of really captures like that the energy and aggression, but somehow in pleasant, singing vocals, like a lot of later Anthrax albums do.
Oh yeah, totally. I get it, yeah.
Yeah, I still heard like, especially we're friends with one of the guitarists, and he showed us some of the songs that they're working on. It does look really like it's real. It sounds amazing. The things I've heard from him sound amazing. They sound very promising and really solid like riffs especially for a local band. It's like crazy.
Yeah, like Jake, he was just doing some really nutty stuff that he's written. He's been writing in weird time signatures. He's just been like riffing around and whatnot, doing a bunch of weird guitar stuff in it. That dude is talent.
Yeah, it was definitely like I really liked the way he was doing a lot of like there was a lot of like chord changes that were made through like lead parts, so they would like it's a lot of that cool thing of just using like it's pretty much using the idea of like walking where you take a bass line or something to like to get to different root notes where you're actually using that to get to different chords, and it sounded really awesome and actually like very like it had that sound of being heavy without really having to go to like a crazy tuning.
Yeah, definitely. It was it's just something interesting. I definitely look out for whatever Spidera does over the summer, because they're probably going to do some really cool stuff. And especially with Jake finally graduating, they're going to have a lot more time to just do stuff as a band, probably.
I hope to see them kind of like, be a band that can at least keep going after so many bands have kind of like broken up over time.
Yeah, just kind of fizzled out and whatnot.
Yeah.
But oh wait, so Angus, while we have you on here, do you want to, I don't know, talk about like the artist that inspired you a little bit? Just kind of give us a rundown of what you want to produce for music and like where you see yourself going.
Well, I just will start from in the beginning. Open up the story, and well, basically, for me, when I was the main kind of music that inspires me is a lot of music I love and I've grown to love is a lot of like hardcore and punk music and various genres of metal. I started out on bands like Rise Against because that was my love as a child. It kind of brought me to different bands like Minor Threat and Black Flag and a lot of other crazy stuff and Sick of It All and just got into a lot of 80s and 90s hardcore and punk and it just kind of inspired me to pick up guitar, get into start punk bands and start yelling about things that I think are stupid or unfair and insulting everyone in my way. Basically like that, and so yeah, I just kind of picked it up and found music as my passion and started. So I play like different instruments. I go to college to get he's an expensive people. Also good knowledge of music.
Yeah. So what else do you got? What else can you tell us about? Let's see, wait, what the hell? What the heck? Oh, shoot, 1 sec. What the hell happened? Fuck. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Hello?
It's all cool, man.
Shoot. Oh, frick. That is not fun at all. What the hell? And headphones, speakers. What the hell? Save. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can I hear you? I can't hear you. What the hell happened? Shoot. Fuck. What the hell happened? Oh, that's guys? Hi? Oh, hey, alright, there we go. It's looks like it's an screw up with headphones somehow. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so
that means people had heard the things I was saying to the mic while you couldn't hear us?
no, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Really bad, outdated meme.
Okay, alright. Well, Angus, can you just continue off from, where was it?
I don't know, it was just telling my life story about how I came to be just a terrible, okay, fine, half-decent local musician because self-deprecating humor is not as funny as I wish it was. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just try and start bands and write songs, try to do a lot of solo acoustic stuff and going to college, hoping to continue with a life of doing music, hopefully full-time in the future, I don't know. Yeah, just anything involving music. That's all me, man.
Do you think you're going to be doing anything in the next year or so, or do you think you're just...
Probably, I'm hoping for a lot of my solo acoustic singer songwriter like type stuff to getting released in maybe in some EPs, hopefully over the summer.
Dude, like, you should definitely get on that stuff. Like, get your name out there.
I gotta, like, I have all the money now, so all I need to do is just get to a store and start buying some, just like a, maybe just like the, not like a mixing board, but it's like the kind of, where you can get like it connects into your laptop and you can plug in microphones into it, and it has like
channel mixer?
Is that what it is? Yeah, channel. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get one of those, and then just starting just with the basics, just going on with it since
Let's see. Channel mixer. Does channel mixer do USB input, or is that just exclusively through a regular mixer?
it can do it through like I think it can connect straight to a computer.
All right.
It's either USB, um, it's either USB audio an audio port or I don't really remember which one it was because I actually had to check out what it plugs into, but I just know it goes straight into computer and recording software can actually detect it and go, okay, yeah, this is what you're taking an audio from.
All right.
It's just something handy to use. Like it's really just it's basic and you can get whatever you want done as long as you at least know good knowledge of recording things. No matter how bad of quality it's going to be, it's still going to be a solid recording. And I know from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using it because there's some that are very cheap, but you can still do decent.
I'd say let's go halvesies on getting one of those audio mixers because I've been wanting to look into one for the podcast, and it'd be cool to kind of like at least get a good quality one by pooling our money together for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If we pull our money together, we can actually get something that's like that's actually that's like also like decent for maybe even like selling like if you like just as an example of like selling like cheap like $5 like CDs being like that kind of quality where you can actually say, oh, I can sell this because it sounds good and had money put into making it sound good.
Yeah, definitely.
If that actually makes sense. I don't know.
It does make sense. Like we'll actually have like a good quality product put ahead for people and whatnot. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. You probably have an EP out sometime soon. So let's say we get into the album review, Cameron.
Alright, so, Chris Ben and the Poncho People. Honestly, I personally don't really know much about them. All that I know is I ended up seeing them live one time because, I was on a show with them. I thought their set was very good. They liked what I did. I had a pretty cool set. I liked what I did on my set for that show. There's also another band, Sleepy Monks, but what happened was I ended up getting a CD from them. So I actually have a physical of the album that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, let's talk about that album.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. Pretty short album, probably about like a half hour.
I think it's
the album itself was a lot more acoustic than I expected it to be. Like the actual band itself, when I saw them live, they didn't seem to be as acoustic centered.
yeah, definitely. It was an interesting experience that really caught me off guard, especially with all of the electronic effects that were used throughout the album itself.
I don't really think there were that many electronic elements that were used throughout the album. I just know that the song at the very middle of the album, for some reason, it was just an acoustic song, except he had auto-tune.
Yeah. I mean, the auto-tune was like there's a lot of auto-tune, like a lot that I wouldn't have expected from like this though.
I was just like, well, I was just kind of thinking it's definitely like because from what I'm hearing from them, because I just listened to it like today just to kind of get a feel for it, just so I could contribute here. I don't know. I kind of did like it as the idea that it's sort of like adding some like weird element that it's not noticed, like it's not paying attention to at all. There's something that's like, this is not just someone singing over an acoustic, but it's just completely auto-tuned to the point where it's just kind of like, whoa, what happened? But as much as I admire that, I didn't really think it same with Cam. I don't really think it fit on the song. It needed more to bridge that gap between him and the acoustic.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I listened to it on my audiophile headphones, and there was some merit to what was going on here. It was a very good album. It was a very... no, I don't... What am I saying here? So, it was okay. I could appreciate it from an artistic standpoint, what it was trying to do. But it was getting too weird and too experimental. And it didn't experiment in the ways that appealed to me, really.
I don't think it was really getting that experimental. Really.
I mean, it went to...
Like honestly, what it sounded like to me, it's like... It sounded like it wasn't being experimental enough. Like, it sounded like it had ideas of
Hmm.
how to push it more forward.
Hmm.
It just didn't really flush them out as much as it should have, as the case with Backyard of Our Lives, which is the auto-tune song.
Yeah.
And I did notice that there was some points like that the audio seemed to be like peaking, and like it didn't like it seemed to there seemed to be like this crackling in the production itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, we did review Expect a Miracle.
Yeah. And Expect a Miracle.
Expect a Miracle, Expect a Miracle, like dives directly into the whole lo-fi thing, whereas this album it kind of like dips its toes into the whole lo-fi sound and then doesn't really go further.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I'm on kind of both sides of what both of you are saying. Where I kind of almost I don't know. But I like the fact that it was experimental. Like I've been listening to a lot of like bands, punk bands, and I've like bands that are kind of like gone into like playing sometimes two different keys with guitars and things like that. And I did like it, especially from hearing other local music. I didn't mind the peaking at all. I felt it kind of like it fit with the kind of band they were going. It reminded me of another local band I loved really much called Miniature Philosopher, where they kind of had some songs that intentionally peaked to kind of add some like some sort of aggressive feeling. But even though this album kind of lacked that a bit, it didn't feel like it was in like maybe not aggressive, but like it wasn't really like a lot of energy put into it, which that could have been kind of nice to hear some of it. But I did like some of the effects, minus maybe the auto-tune part. I felt like that song needed more contributed to it. But I don't know. I think I liked it, and I'd actually would like think about putting on my iPod and listening to it every once in a while when I feel that need to listen to some like maybe more kind of slowed down, calmer, kind of somewhat experimental kind of like local music.
All right. I can see what you guys are saying. So, any thoughts on like some of the individual tracks you wanted to bring up, like stuff that really stuck out to you that you want to touch up on, aside from the auto tune in the Backyard of Our Lives?
I mean, I did enjoy Teeth and Big Fish.
Yeah, Teeth and Big Fish were good songs. Yeah, I mean, like Teeth played it straight pretty well throughout. Like, I will say, like, the album kind of took a dip at Backyard of Our Lives where they played it straight almost entirely throughout the rest of the album. And it kind of was a little bit jarring to me, actually. Like, they spent the last 4 songs adding a bunch of different experimental effects, and the rest just kind of threw that away and just kind of went the standard route. I still enjoyed it, but I mean, it was, I kind of felt like they kind of didn't go in the direction that they fully wanted to go. Which actually contradicts what I said earlier, but I mean, you get my point. Like, they were trying to do something, and I could appreciate it from an artistic standpoint, but they didn't commit, really. But, and one little criticism I do have, again, is Forest Song. Forest Song, it sounded really good, like, at the very start, and, like, but halfway through, it starts getting cluttered and more cluttered with all the different stuff they add into it, like the drums, which, honestly, it do sound very nice and crisp. Well, not really crisp, but, like, a nice grimy crunch to it from, like, the same lo-fi production that you'd hear in, like, some of, like, the stuff released by Joe Folan, but the rest of it just kind of piled on in a very improperly mixed mess that really kind of ruined the rest of the enjoyment of the Forest Song. Like, at the very end, when there's just a chaos of instruments, it kind of killed it a bit for me. I still love the rest of the song, but, like, the very end is just like, what the hell is this? What's going on here?
I mean, I personally didn't really have much of a problem with with the instrumentation of Forest Song. When it comes to Forest Song, really, if there was anything that I wasn't really all that into, it was the lyrics.
I don't want to be asking this, but I just didn't really get familiarized with the names of the song. Which one was the Forest Song?
The first one.
Oh, the first one. I did like the first one. I'm trying to remember it that well. I just.
Maybe if it was like, oh, sorry.
No, it's cool. You can keep going.
But maybe if like the Forest Song, like the very end was like mixed a little bit better, I could appreciate it more because I could see what they were doing there and what was the attempt, but it just didn't execute as well and appeal to me as well as it probably did to you. But yeah, I'd say like other than that though, like the rest of the songs on here were pretty good. Like, you were saying, Angus?
Yeah, I was saying there was one song that stuck out to me, which is you're gonna have to enlighten me on the name of the song, but it was that song I said that like I really liked the kind of like crunch of the guitar that it had, especially like it was more kind of like it had more kind of like just like emotion put into it, I guess. It was like that song that had the full band going on. It had that like that heavy kind of guitar, and they strum it kind of heavy, and it really had this big punch thing. Is that the one that I was saying like I really liked how like.
I think that it's that one. That's Teeth.
Is that what's Teeth? Yeah, I think if that is the right song, I don't know. It's just like that kind of one song really just stuck out to me, especially like it kind of had that feel of the band. I mean, it didn't ditch the acoustic thing. I don't know. I felt like a lot of the album was very acoustic oriented, but I still.
Which I mean, as I said, it was weird because like when I actually saw them play, I don't even think. I mean, I know that they did one song that was just Chris Finn and like the other two members of the band like went to the back. It was just Chris Finn alone, but I don't think they did anything acoustic from what I remember.
I still like that song, and I also kind of like the ending song. Just especially how it like I like sometimes when like an album will end on that kind of like softer note and just kind of like just let it just kind of like everything just like slide off, and it's just like this is just a nice peaceful ending, and it just goes on. It's like that was nice.
That was Gray Ball.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know these names, man.
Don't worry.
I tried at least. I get.
That's what I'm here for.
Get points for effort.
Fourth song, Serious, Big Fish, Backyard of Our Lives, Teeth, Fake Stars, Gray Ball.
I want to say that the theming of this album was actually pretty interesting. I kind of got the idea that the album was kind of based on the concept of maybe aliens or something that's been kind of living among us that we didn't really observe. And I guess they go away at some point and the guy dreams of joining them. Something like that. I wish there was like a little bit more. There's a Bandcamp page for this album so that I could get like some more story to it. See like the lyrics right in front of my face and kind of pick up exactly everything that was going on there.
Do they not have this on a Bandcamp?
No, it's just on like Amazon Music, on Apple Music. His Chris Finn's Bandcamp just has this EP exam review and nothing else on it. Oh, EP exam review and then just another song on it, but there's nothing else on here. Which it's kind of a shame because like just having this listed up there would be a really great service to them and give them a little bit more exposure on this platform of Bandcamp.
Yeah, I think it'd just be good because it's just good to put all your music on Bandcamp. So you just kind of like it's all there. It's like a portfolio, and you're like, and it's just really easy for people to just go in and find all of your music, especially things. You can just share a link and go, here's the new thing I put out, and then also you can find the rest of my music that I might not be as proud of, but here it is.
Yeah. Like it makes it like available for people to listen to if they want to, but it doesn't make it so like you can send the link to the new thing on Bandcamp, but like if people really want to find the old stuff, they can. You just it makes it so you don't have to like physically just be like put it out there.
It's also like a thing like did it like cost money on all the other platforms it's on?
Yeah, I mean like there's DistroKit that you guys use You can put all your music on Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever other major streaming platforms for literally like $20.
That's good. I don't know. I think it also is good to probably put it on Bandcamp because then it's like that whole thing. People can listen to it and really
Yeah,
decide what they want to pay for. Which, I mean, this is still just to kind of say on the topic. I'd say it's something I'd actually pay for if like hey, I have this CD. You want to buy it for like $5 or something?
No, $3.
$3, really? That's a deal. I'd buy it for $3.
yeah, I would buy it for $3 too if it were available on there. But it's available on like iTunes for $7. So yeah, but so it's a real missed opportunity, Chris. If you're listening, just put your music on Bandcamp, not just the EP and the one song.
Yeah, you gotta like put it. The best thing to like being found is putting your stuff on everything out there, everything imaginable, so people cannot go to any other website and not just run into your music.
Like
On
put it,
their dreams.
get it on Tidal if you need to. Like
Stream it on pirate radio. Get it into people's like minds so they dream and just hear your album streaming directly into their dreams.
I just realized that the CD I have is the Poncho People and Exam Review.
And what?
It's the CD, the actual physical that I have, includes the Poncho People as well as Exam Review.
Exam Review. Oh, all right, cool. So you get the neat old EP.
I own both of them. I only listen to the Poncho People, but because I streamed it, but I own both things.
That's cool.
Yeah. I was just playing Exam Review, so I guess that's a little bit of I guess cross pollination over there. I don't know, cross contamination. I don't know what I'm even saying at this rate.
Are we making some flowers or giving people salmonella?
Let's not do either.
Cross pollination and cross contamination. Those are both what I was saying right there. When people, well, the salmonella one that takes a lot more thought process. It's probably not as long as just making flowers. I was trying to be funny.
You're funny, Angus. Don't worry. See,
It seems that Exam Review includes just 2 acoustic versions of song off the Poncho People, 1 new song, and then a Mac DeMarco cover.
which one's? Oh, let my baby say is the Mac DeMarco song.
Yes.
All right, neat. Yeah. Is that I'm just hearing this one and I didn't even realize it was a Mac DeMarco song. I should listen to Mac DeMarco this next week.
I heard it's a good idea.
Yeah. But back onto the original topic at hand. So any songs that really stuck out to you, Cameron, as like top songs on this record?
You already asked me that.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it's just stuff that really I guess I did kind of in a way. I should say top songs for me would have to be like just the last 3 songs of the album itself. Like I really enjoyed those just for what they were. It's just kind of like played straight songs. Yeah. I'll give points to Backyard of Our Lives for getting weird, but in a weird that I could like kind of vibe with. Backyard of Our Lives, just like when the trumpet kicked in, that electronic trumpet, it was just like, yeah, this is pretty kicking, pretty sweet. And do you hear like the drone in the background, the electronic drone that's throughout the entire song?
I believe so.
Yeah, like that. This spacey drone and the synths just kind of really brought that piece together, and that's where I saw like the most potential for Chris Finn's vision on this album. And it didn't like hit all of the notes that I wanted to hit, but it did pretty well for what it was trying to do, I will say.
I think I can remember that song, and I did really like that for like as like one of the best songs that really kind of fleshed out the sort of like idea for where the album was going at the beginning of it at least.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of showed some potential in that song.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys had to give Chris Finn's The Poncho People an arbitrary number, what would you give it? An absolute arbitrary number.
Sure. So like just no scale at all. Just
no scale at all. Just say a number.
65.2. But no, seriously, I don't know. I'd say it's just a positive number that's above zero, because that's a positive review, my positive outlook on this album.
Yeah, I gotcha. I
That's
gotcha.
poetry right there, somehow.
I would give it Euler's number times 15. Or was it? No. I'll give it the golden ratio, cause it's pretty there. It's there. It's a golden ratio. It's right there. I feel like golden ratio may have been a better applied to Geff, but yeah, whatever.
Can we use variables? Can I say x at like 2 to the power of x?
I mean,
Pre-calculus.
2 to the power of yeah. You could give it that if you wanted. X being your mood. I don't know.
Not a French thing.
X being how lo-fi the song gets.
Oh. X being how much clipping there is, and depending on how much clipping goes up through the song. It's the time of like total clipping throughout the album. And then, of course, you convert it all into minutes, and then do it all into seconds, and you do it by seconds.
All right.
The only it's just because you just to make it go out easier on the calculator. Instead of getting to minutes, you have to do it a terrible number with a lot of decimal point mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess closing thoughts. I would say honestly, you should really listen. I'd say give Chris Finn's music a shot if you're into indie rock and acoustic folk that really wants to experiment with like just weird sounds, kind of have fun with what they're trying to do. But it wasn't exactly for me, but it may be something for you if you kind of like that stuff. If you like your Shins and if you like your Mac DeMarcos. Yeah, so that's my final thoughts. What about you guys?
I exactly because he was because this man, I'm gonna call him out, was looking at his phone and not about to answer. I don't know, but
I was about to answer actually.
You didn't look like it. I was pointing at you to go like, hey, go. I'm gonna take it from you.
I thought the album was pretty alright.
Okay, cool. Impressive.
Okay, do you have anything more to add, man? While you still have the spotlight.
Everything that I would have to add, I said in the review.
Okay. Well, I say it is good. It's if you're not being like trying to pick it apart and see what's good and what's not, like I think it's still just a great album, especially just on the surface. Going in deeper, it's great, and it is worth money, I guess. I'm not sure about if I'd paid as much as $7 for it, but I mean, like, if I saw it combined with if I actually saw them live, I probably would be more willing to, because they seem like a great band, great stuff. And if you love a lot of things like, stuff like punk, older punk, where it's not, or like maybe like even like if you like a lot of the '90s bands that were like very Nirvana inspired, where it was very like kind of getting a bit like experimental with the sound, very kind of weird with it potentially. I think it's a good choice. Just give it a listen, even if you don't listen to much local like acoustic-y, folky, indie, crazy stuff that intentionally clips audio.
Yeah.
They were a pretty good band live. I thought they were pretty great.
Angus, I think if you like this, you may end up liking Daisy Bones' record Gusto from last month. See, you should really check it out. It's on Apple Music. Both Cameron and I enjoyed it greatly.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I have Suburban Boy stuck in my head right now.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Oh.
I'm still thinking miniature philosophy right now. I use this stuff. Did he put out anything recently at all, or anything
I don't
new?
know.
Ever since Pop Song? No, he did put out something after Pop Song, and I never downloaded it. But they're also a great great local band. I think they're from Worcester.
Yeah.
You remember Pat?
Pat Malone?
Yeah, that's his band.
Miniature Philosopher. I may have seen it somewhere along, but I just... Philosopher.
It's really old. I think the CD's like probably like 3 or 4 years old. Probably. He put it out a long time. It was like after a while with his solo acoustic stuff, he started the band. He used a few of his solo songs into the full band, which I thought it was just him doing all of it. But his full band, and they perform out in Worcester. They haven't been down there.
Neato.
It's really fun. They do a lot of. It is kind of like the more straight songs that this kind of. But it's all acoustic, and it has an acoustic bass in it too, and it has a lot of clipping audio, but for the parts where he gets very aggressive and actually yells, it's really good stuff.
Neat. Yeah. So the last release was September of last year. So they've been active.
Really? Oh.
They have.
No, I think that was that new one they put out.
Get Divorced.
That's another new one.
Because there's Leaving Beulah from June of 2015. Then there's Get Divorced from September of 2016.
I don't know if I heard Get Divorced.
Well, it's on their Bandcamp, Mini Philosopher, at bandcamp.com. And they make this... I got to give them a hand. They make this all blend pretty well. Like, some people's banners look like just kind of really stand out and don't mesh well with the page, but they didn't make it look nice.
Pat Malone and all those guys, they're great, and they know what they're doing.
Neat.
I love how they're still doing it. I hope they're still doing it.
They should still be doing stuff, probably.
Yeah, I know Pat Malone still does stuff, and he always will, but he's just so busy with college. He can barely get down to shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Out there in Worcester doing college, it's just kind of it is. As doing college stuff for a year, it is kind of insane.
Yeah. So, any interesting news that you guys discovered this week outside of Chris Cornell, which we'll be obviously discuss a little bit about, I guess.
We have now discovered that Miniature Philosopher released an album in 2016.
Yeah, sure.
Also, the news, Ian. Actually, I need to tell you this because I forgot. I was gonna tell you last time I was around in town, but Willie DiNardo from Willie DiNardo and the Corporates. You wouldn't think he'd be part of that project. I was just saying that for people who don't know who that is. Ian, Willie texted me. He wants to try and put on a show.
All right, cool.
His band to headline, which I guess I don't know. Yeah, I'm cool with that because I like him. He's a good friend of mine, and he wants us to try and put on a show in June. He's still waiting to give us a date from his drummer, but he's talking about this, and I thought it'd be awesome, and I already talked about trying to talk.
Maybe the weekend of the 24th and 25th.
It's mostly I want to see what he says first before we give him it. Like he's going to give us a date, and I'm just going to see if we can work with it, and because I'm going to be back every weekend. This pretty much, so it pretty much, I know whatever he gives me, I can definitely make it.
Yeah, you'd have to be like managing it, or if Cam, if you don't mind helping out, like because I'm gonna be like taken up by the music circus most of the summer, so I won't be able to be host of the shows.
Yeah, I can manage it. I've managed shows by myself before. A lot of the last previous few shows that we had at our house, I managed them by myself.
All right, sweet. So I guess that counts as news. We'll have a show with Willie DiNardo headlining sometime next month. And Cam, if you want, you can jump on that.
Oh, I already told him that. I already got him all set for that. I've also talked to a few other bands. Just so I should mention that.
Oh shoot! Oh, we got Joe Folan. We gotta talk to Joe Folan and get him on there.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I talked to it just to fill the band spots because you have to have at least like a few bands out there. Maybe 4 is a magic number for bands.
Yeah, send a message out to Joe soon. Tell him that we're waiting on Willie DiNardo, but he wants to do a headlining show and update him on it. All right?
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to him about that. already talked. I'm still waiting for other replies for like mostly stories, which is a band from Abington.
Yeah.
Troll 2, which I still don't remember where they're from.
Boston.
They used to be from New Hampshire, didn't they? I don't know, but yeah, I guess they're from the Boston area.
Hmm.
And I think I also.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a good show that can actually happen this time.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out. Just check with Mom real quick.
I already told her.
All right, cool.
She said maybe, like, if he gives me a day and you still can't be around, I think I'm gonna have the show anyway because it's Willie DiNardo.
Yeah, it's Willie DiNardo. You can't just like deny a set.
I can't just tell a good friend of mine and an amazing like performer that can actually get that can actually hold up with like some of the heaviest local bands I know. To like, no, you can't play at my house because my mom said no.
Hmm.
No is not an option.
So, I guess that's cool news. Any news that really stuck out to you, Cameron, this last week?
Not really.
All right. Well, do any of you guys have any history with Soundgarden and Chris Cornell at all?
I heard Black Hole Sun once. That's it.
Yeah, I'm right with you there. I feel bad that Chris Cornell has killed himself, but at the same time, it's like I had really no connection to him whatsoever. Like, his music was like just stuff for people back in the 90s who, I think there was a good comedy skit about Soundgarden at one point. A good comedy bit where like they were famous for like a few weeks in May of like 97 where everyone thought having a goatee was cool, and then afterwards having a goatee was dumb. But yeah, that's all that I really know about Soundgarden. Black Hole Sun, okay song. And again, just a shame Chris took his own life. Rest in peace, dude. Yeah. But
I've never really. I don't think I've ever listened to them. I guess like, but they don't, just from kind of hearing about them, they don't really sound like.
yeah, like, I mean, they probably have a lot of good bangers, and there's a lot of people giving memorials. So I guess he's got some good music that reached a lot of people. So he will be missed. He will definitely be missed by a lot of us, I guess.
I didn't even hear it was suicide. I just heard he died. I didn't know it was like, I was like, how old is he? I'm like, oh, no. Like some people can die naturally at that age, but man, that sucks.
I guess just if you're one of those people that are really feeling like just feeling really sheltered and unable to face reality, or you just have a lot of pain inside, I guess go see a therapist, guys. Or at least turn music into your therapy somehow. Or if all else fails, go to a friend. And to those friends, guess keep an eye out. Try and help your friends when you suspect that they're actually having problems. I guess that's my 2 cents about it.
What if you go to your friend who's also a musical therapist and get all 3 in one?
Yeah.
The ultimate bang for your buck. That was a tragedy plus timing.
I mean,
my apologies for the terrible joke during a very serious moment, because I can't be serious for life.
I mean, I really couldn't handle this with like a sense of. I want to be sincere, but I just don't feel any sort of loss towards the dude other than like a sort of empathy as a human being.
Yeah, it is sad to hear someone would just kind of do that, especially someone, I guess, who a well-known musician. This is not even like regarding if I like their music or not.
Yeah. But here's to him, and here's to maybe Soundgarden doing more stuff with like a replacement or promoting his life and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I guess that really kind of wraps up all we really have to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angus. Since you are our guest, why don't you dictate what we listen to this upcoming week? That isn't Regime's AP, because I want to like save that for when they release their full album.
Oh, okay. Well, I really don't know, but I don't know. I mean, we were talking about Miniature Philosopher. That is something interesting to kind of maybe listen to for the week, especially for me as someone who like remembers back when they first started. It's I don't know.
Pop, Jangle Pop. So, what is it? What is Miniature Philosopher's thing, really quick, just to kind of give us.
They're basically the whole kind of like the embodiment, the epitome of a very like that kind of very weird, almost like, you know, as I said, the almost kind of like, it's kind of like this band, and then the almost like very Nirvana-esque slightly, but it's mainly acoustic like folk punk. That's just it's very dark but happy, like it's like a very light-hearted and happy tone, but with some of these can be like very just dark, depressing imagery, but in a way that it's actually like I can sit there and go, you know, that's actually like cool, because it's like things that aren't just like cheesy little things to sound dark, yeah, it's really good songwriting, good lyrics, and I've actually even learned some of the songs myself. They're yeah, it's basically what they are, just a lot of like acoustics, acoustic bass, acoustic guitar. You can hear that different like things, clipping audio sometimes, and but really good piano sometimes too.
All right. So I guess it looks like we'll be listening to Get Divorced this week, Cameron.
All right.
Get Divorced by Miniature Philosopher came out September 14th, 2016. And I guess, Angus, do you just want to tell everybody where to find you and your stuff for when you finally get stuff out there?
All right. Well, I have a Bandcamp. I don't know if we're gonna make a new Bandcamp for this, because it's just my solo. Originally, my solo stuff was under a thing called Without Sight before it became a band, and so it's either gonna be on a Bandcamp that's just for Without Sight, or I might put it under a new Bandcamp under the name Lore. We're gonna do with alphanumeric with Lima, Oscar, Romeo, Echo. People who didn't hear me right, yeah, Lore, and it's just gonna be on Bandcamp. It's gonna be a bunch of like sad solo acoustic in 12 or 8 or whatever I feel like the actual like note that gets the beat will be.
All right, cool. So, any place where we can find you doing anything other than music, or?
Well, I do have art on other profiles. I have a DeviantArt. I haven't used it in a while. I should update it recently. I have a account on for Affinity. It's under all my accounts everywhere are under the name of Lore4697. Just that's the name, all one word, no spaces, I guess no capital sometimes. The L is sometimes capital, I guess. It changes, but I have a account on DeviantArt for Affinity and Furry Network where I draw and I do that.
That's neat.
Yeah. I'm starting to get back out of it. And I have a Twitter for Sam.
Now, do you get as weird as Cameron gets on Twitter?
No, not as weird. I do have that other one that I need to start updating again. You remember?
Yeah.
I also have Instagram too, and it's absolutely terrible, and it ruins Instagram.
Cameron, have you seen Angus's Instagram?
I've not.
I don't remember what it's under, but I know it's under the name on the profile. It says some guy in an ambulance, but like in a way that's impossible to remember how it's spelled. But it basically posts some of the most vulgar things with the most disgusting looking images I can make with filters.
They look like bad shoegaze album covers, like if you took Loveless by My Bloody Valentine and just kind of made it look worse.
There's actually, speaking of that, there is an actual picture that is of my shoe that looks like the colors that remind me of vomit, and it has some of the most decrepit things. I start to get a little better with it and more highbrow with it, but I stopped for a while and I should get back into it again.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. Just kind of saying terrible things that just come up with your mind, and it really exercises the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also have a terrible Twitter. It's under @Nathan _ Calsagno, if you can look it up. But, if you see the weird tweets, you'll understand.
Yeah. So, Cameron, what have you got coming up? Any albums on the horizon that you're looking towards? Any content that you want to do? Any weird stuff you feel like sharing?
I can cover a song right now.
You know what? I will pause the music and let's hear a cover.
Children be advised.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. Say I'm the cutest boy in town. My car is fast, my teeth are shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my highway. Here I am at a famous school, dressing sharp and I'm acting cool. Got a cheerleader here who wants to help with my pain. Well, let her do all the work and make me a reaper. Oh God, I am the American dream. I do not think I'm too extreme, and I'm a handsome son of a bitch. I'm gonna get a good job and be real rich. Get a good job. Women's liberation came creeping all across the nation. I'll tell you people, I was not ready when I met this girl by the name of Freddie. She made a little speech then. She tried to make me say when. Chemicals in a vice, but she left the dick against the cell of thumb. And now she was too quick. Oh God, I am the American dream. Now I smell like Vaseline, and I'm a miserable son of a bitch. Am I a boy or a lady? I don't know which. No one knows. So I went out and bought me a Ninja suit. I jingle my change, but I'm still kinda cute. Got a job doing radio promo. And none of the junk you can sell of a homo. I eventually made a friend. Sorta drifted along with S&M. I can speak about an hour on the Tower of Power. As long as I get a little golden shower. Oh God, I am the American dream. With a spindle on my butt till it makes me scream. And I'll do anything to get ahead. I stay awake nights saying thank you, Fred. Oh God, you're so fantastic. It's so great. I'm a sexual spastic, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, going down, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down, and my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down. Yeah, I'm your biggest fan.
Well done, Cameron.
Thanks.
You know, once we get a studio to do this show, we should just do live performances.
Like audio, like music breaks, but it's someone performing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad, honestly. Well, we need to just try and again find a space to work in that's soundproof and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Cam stuff. Me, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I don't even know if I can even find the time to get that song done, but hopefully I can. Maybe I'll do some content for the channel, but I know you guys have some content you'll want to be sharing around real soon.
Oh, are you talking about that content that Kim might have actually been talking to me about in case we should shout it out?
Yeah, that content. You guys just want to shout it out at this rate?
Sure. Wait, well, I guess, is it going to ruin our names because we're doing this?
It's not gonna ruin my name. I don't care.
Like,
Okay.
Do you care?
No.
Okay, cool.
We do a Let's Play now.
We have a Let's Play channel, but specifically, we just
We gotta say what website it's on, though. It's on the hub. You know the hub.
Exclusively. Exclusively. It's because our main thing is finding just horrible, like, sex flash games.
And playing them and pretty much like reviewing how terrible some of them actually are. and just showing you the things you can experience when you actually go in to play some of these games as someone who would be seriously playing like a game they just bought the next new game and want to see how they like it. This is what we do.
It's like, well, then you have to consider that some of these games are like, the whole nature of them are to be like arousing.
Yeah, and
some of these you have to consider. You just have to like have that in the back of your mind that like
these are supposed to turn you on, but somehow they actually don't, and they do the exact opposite.
They just make you laugh infinitely.
Yes. Especially, yeah, it's a good time, and it's called Doing the channel is called Doing the Do, and that's the name of the show, I guess. It's on the hub.
Yeah.
First few episodes are to be uploaded in the future soon.
Yeah, I mean that's weird stuff, and I will be looking forward to seeing that. You guys should really just like upload the audio with like extremely censored like video onto YouTube just to see like what happens.
Yes, we should do that. We should just like have a picture, and it's just like I can draw it to it. It'd just be like someone smiling and just like drifting off into like brain deadism, and it just says, "Sorry, the video is unavailable right now. Click it. Go find it on your own, because that's your problem."
Coward.
Coward baby man. You stupid baby man. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, so look forward to them playing porn games on the Pornhub. Their link will be Do the Do, and I don't want to link it here in case it brings a strike on the channel.
Yes.
But yeah. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up for today. Next week again we'll be reviewing Get Divorced by Miniature Philosophers. We may try and get a guest on. I don't know. The last guest kind of like didn't get back to us, but I mean, maybe we'll hear back from them soon. And until next week. I'm Ian, I'm a nerd.
I'm Cameron, I'm a musician.
I'm Angus, and I'm weird.
Good night, everyone. Have yourselves a good night.
Yo.
Peace.